Hey guys, welcome back to Mechanics of Punching Part 2. For those who didn't see the video last week, we worked on executing the jab, the cross, and the left and right hooks. Today we're going to focus on putting those together in combinations and then some circular hitting so we can hit from unorthodox angles to make our attacks a little bit more unpredictable. Okay guys, so the first combination we're going to look at is one of the more basic combinations that you would be introduced at an early level at almost any boxing school or martial arts school. And that's going to be off the jab to a cross, to a hook, to a lead hook with the original jabbing hand. So again, jab, cross, hook. This opens up the door a lot for future combinations, and I like it because the jab usually triggers a jab catch or a block response, and you can kind of catch the hook coming in just as their guard is dropping, and if they're still prepared for that, then they often don't see the hook coming in, or the jab cross combination will start them to circle out, and you'll catch them with the hook coming back in. I also like this combination because you get to play with it a lot. I like to throw a jab and then a cross, and then often when their guard comes high off the jab and the cross, I like to throw the hook to the body and come back. You can change the levels, or also like to start it with a low jab to a high cross and then a hook high. So you get to play with the levels a lot. If you're into kickboxing or MMA and want to throw in kicks, I find there's a lot of good openings here for shoots, entries, and kicks. And if not, it's just a very devastating punching combination. So a very effective way of ingraining muscle memory into this basic combination is to use weights in your hands. The only thing we should be very careful with here is when you're holding weights, you never want to go to full extension. If you do so, and if you do it fast with the weight, you're at risk of hyperextending your elbows. It's very rough on the joints, it's hard on the shoulders, it's hard on the wrist. So you want to think of minimalizing the combination very tight, very small, and just repeating it over and over with whatever weights you can carry. This will also, as a bonus, this will also ingrain your ability to keep your hands up. Because if you can hold your hands by your face to protect yourself with weights in them during the whole time, then when your hands are free, it'll be a lot easier to do. So now that we're getting into combinations, another thing I like to look at, which I've completely stolen from Russian style boxing or Slavic martial arts, are circular strikes. So basically it's playing off what we were talking about last week when we were thinking about an infinity symbol in the air or figure eight on its side. So it keeps the arm nice and relaxed, and it comes in from very unconventional angles, and it can usually get past. It's very hard to block, so when people just have a high guard or they're shielding very well, you can often slip in the holes with this kind of movement. It also plays off all the strikes we did last week and the combination we just looked at. It's very easy to see how it all chains together, and you can still maintain casting strikes, keep the arm relaxed. So you can also hit off a straight jab, more circular kind of entry into your combinations. It's very hard to block, it's very hard to predict. Also, I like to use the lead jab sometimes just to take down a person's guard so that I can enter here and follow up. So they flow very well together. And you can start to mix these into your combinations as well. It's very hard to fight against. And once you get comfortable with it, I recommend trying it out in some light sparring with a partner. Okay, so just like with our basic combination, a very effective way of programming this kind of muscle memory is to use weights in our hands. So by doing that, I can learn to not over-exaggerate the motion and constantly leaving my face exposed. The work will automatically become a little bit tighter, but it'll be really ingrained into your body. So it'll be very natural when your hands are free to just let it flow and chain together, which is very difficult to fight against. So if you can move that freely with your hands, and you put some weights in them, and all of a sudden the work becomes very difficult. And then if you slow the movement down, it becomes even more difficult. The slower you can do this, the deeper the programming.
steak. That was steak and bread.
So again, with both of these exercises, the idea is to be able to move as slowly as possible. That will really program the movements into your body. You'll have more confidence in them when your hands are free. Also, don't forget to take these combinations and circular movements to a heavy bag so that you can try changing levels with the combinations and the movements. And if you have a partner that could hold some focus mitts for you so they can move the targets around, that's also very effective. And lastly, it's time to put everything to the test. So try to find a partner that is willing to spar with you, even lightly, just for some good pressure testing, just to make sure you can use these combinations, these strikes, and these types of movements in the context of a fight. The difference between doing this against a live human versus a bag or targets is that it's very nice to get a perfect combination or to be very comfortable moving this openly, this circular, but if you're developing bad habits, they'll quickly get exposed when someone's trying to punch you in the face. So if you're doing your circles, just make sure that you're coming back, always protecting. When you're doing your combinations, the hand that's free is always by your face. But these, of course, are lessons you'll quickly learn in just a couple rounds with a partner. So anyway, here's some footage of people trying to punch me in the face. I hope you enjoy, and see you next week.
Get on, she's sorry.
But it's you know, it's plastic, yeah, right? We're living in this food there, food is plastic. But then everything that has to do human tofu, there's so many things now that you have.
Submission.
So it's everything. It's a thing that is so I can reduce breads that are integrate. Anything and she had just the softest and it takes the plastic